Hey guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, Section 8 Real Estate Investing. I'm Rhett. I'm back with another very interesting topic today, okay? One that I personally do and that I vouch for, something you've probably seen on the internet on how to grow your real estate portfolios, okay? Now, specific to Section 8 is kind of how we're gonna angle this one today. Now, if you do a lot of research on real estate investing, if you do real estate investing yourself already, you understand what the BRRRR method is, right? You've probably seen it on Bigger Pockets online. You've probably seen it in forums. What it is it's a strategy. It's a real estate investment strategy on how to acquire more properties faster, okay? Now, what it is buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat, okay? Now, this is how you go from 1 property, 2 properties, 3 properties to 10 properties, 20, 30. I promise it works. I've done it. It's unbelievable how it works, okay? Now, let's talk about how to do that, okay? And let's put it into a real life scenario to make it easier for you to understand how it works, all right? Now, I know when I first heard of it, I didn't really understand what it was, how it worked, or how it could benefit me. And now that I do it, it's unbelievable, okay? So let me lay this out for you quick. You're gonna buy a property, okay? In our case, we're gonna buy a Section 8 property, okay? We're gonna, whether we rehab it or whether we buy it already cash flowing, it doesn't matter, we acquire it, all right? Now, once we acquire it, say we do our rehab, all right? We do our rehab, we put a renter in it. Now we have a cash flowing investment. We have something good, we got something to work with. We have something that puts money in our bank account every single month, right? If you've watched our previous videos, you know that guaranteed money every single month is beautiful. That tough G, that guarantee, right? It's coming in every single month. It's fantastic. Now, who else thinks that's fantastic? Banks. Banks who want to lend you money off of an asset that you already have, right? Now, banks love government money. It's guaranteed. It's fantastic, right? So now you have a property that's cash flowing. We'll say, for argument's sake, $1,000 a month, okay? You have no mortgage. You bought it with cash to start. I think this is the best way to start. If you're gonna use the BRRRR method, this is the best way to begin. Buy it with cash, okay? Now, you have 100% equity in that Section 8 property. It gives you $1,000 a month, right? That $1,000 a month is just paying you back, paying you back, paying you back. Now, you go to the bank and say, hey, Mr. Banker, I have a Section 8 property. It gives me $1,000 a month. It's a solid investment. I wanna pull my equity out. I want you to give me a credit line against that property, and I'm gonna go buy another Section 8 property and do the same thing, okay? The bank says, okay, well, let us see the lease. You give them the lease, guaranteed money. Bank says, wow, that is great. The bank doesn't worry about that tenant defaulting. They don't worry about you defaulting as much because you're getting constant guaranteed cash flow, all right? They're not gonna worry about those monthly payments that are now you're gonna have to make because now you're pulling your equity out. You're taking a mortgage out on that property. Where's the income coming from? It's coming from the tenant and it's guaranteed, right? Now, during this old craziness of COVID-19, we see a lot of landlords hurting. We see a lot of big mortgage payments, especially Airbnbs, landlords that have a lot of high-level properties, right? They're really having a tough time paying their mortgages, especially those who are over-levered. This is an instance where that cannot happen, or the possibility for that to happen is so much lower, right? So banks love government money. You started with cash, okay? You bought that property for, we'll say, $100,000 in cash, okay? Now, a bank is only gonna give you a certain percentage, right? You say you find a bank that gives you 80% of your equity, okay? So they're only gonna give you $80,000 if that property is worth 100, okay? Now, say the mortgage on that $80,000 is $350 a month. Okay, it's probably gonna be less than that, but we'll say for argument's sake it's $350 a month. You're still making $1,000 a month from that property, right? That's a pretty good spread, okay? Now, your net on that every single month is $650 a month, okay? So that's a pretty good, damn good spread, and you just got $80,000 of your own money back. You take that $80,000, you go buy another Section 8 property, okay? And it gets back to the BRRRR method, right? We're buying, we're rehabbing, maybe. We're renting, we're refinancing, and now we're repeating, okay? You're gonna take that 80,000, you're gonna buy another Section 8 property. You can do the same thing that you just did. You're gonna do it over again, okay? Now, this time, you buy a property, maybe you got it distressed, you bought it for 50, you put 30 into it. Fantastic, you use that 80,000, you put a Section 8 tenant in there for another 1,000 a month, okay? Now you're bringing in 2,000 a month. You have 2 properties. You're still paying only $350 for that original line of credit that you took out on that first house. Then you go back to the bank. You say, hey, Mr. Banker, look what I just did. Now I have another property that's bringing me $1,000 a month. I want to pull the equity out of that one. You guys watching this video at home might say, well, you can't pull the equity out of that. You use the bank's money to buy it. But you can. You actually can do that. You can do that to infinity, okay? So why don't you? You go back to the bank goes, wow, you know, you bought this thing distressed, you rehabbed it, you did a good job, you did your due diligence in a good area, and you got a house that's worth 100,000. They give you another 80. You do it again and again and again and again and again, right? And that spread is just gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and look what you grew. You grew a huge portfolio with $100,000 in cash. That is unbelievable. That's all you put down was $100,000 of your own money, and now you blink and you have 20 properties, cash flowing $20,000 a month, okay? Now you're paying maybe $9,000, $10,000 a month in a credit line, but your spread on that is still $10,000, and that $100,000 has now given you $1 million worth of property, all right? So pulling the equity out of your Section 8 properties to buy more and grow your portfolio is what I've done to grow my portfolio strictly with Section 8. It's an unbelievable way to do it. And I say start with cash because if you finance a property, right, you put 20% down, you finance 80% of it, your equity is only 20%. And most times when you do a refinance, banks aren't going to allow you to pull more than 80%. So that 20% is kind of a baseline, right? So if you start with cash, you own 100% equity, you pull out 80%. I know big time investors that buy portfolios, right? They might spend $1 million in cash on a portfolio. As soon as they spend that $1 million on a portfolio, they go to the bank and pull out $750,000, $800,000 back out of it to use for other investments. That's how the rich stay rich, guys. That's how portfolios are grown. That's how this thing is done, especially with Section 8, where banks love guaranteed money. They love seeing guaranteed leases. They understand government programs, right? They're easier to work with. And you being experienced Section 8 landlord have the ability to totally blow up your portfolio by using the BRRRR method, okay, for Section 8 properties. I absolutely love it. I've been doing it for years. It's time for you guys to do it. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave your comments below. I'll try to get to every single one of them. If you want to see a video about something in particular that I haven't covered today, just drop it below and I'll get to it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, guys. Thanks for your time.